Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Raycourt EMS 1 finals. We are well into Group B now after, well, what feels like we're well into Group B, but we're not really because we've only had one game, even though it feels like we've had about 3 of them. And the reason for that was that epic first match between Na'Vi and Universal Soldiers. So let's just check out the group first of all to show you how it works out. And you can see on your screen the confirmation that Na'Vi are top of the group right now, although they're not top in, order, but they have one win, and they're now awaiting the winners of Ninjas in Pyjamas and mousesports. Universal Soldiers now still get another chance. They're not out of the competition just yet after a 31-28 scoreline. Anders, I'm going to check, right? Your mic's definitely on. Yeah, on. Okay, and you've still got some kind of vocal stuff going on, is that right?
A little bit.
Wow.
I mean,
that was an amazing game.
I'm still smiling. I really can't believe it. You hope for these games every once in a while, but to get them at the game of the group stage is no better way to start off. And even though they lost, I'm massively impressed by Universal Soldiers.
Yep.
And Na'Vi. You heard they came prepared. Well, we saw they did.
Yeah, and just before we move on to our second game,
I beat Joe in predictions.
Yeah, I was going to raise the fact that the predictions.
Good try, Joe.
Well.
The predictions, yeah.
Oh, you did the overtime. Oh,
yeah,
I predicted the overtime.
You did. And I think that's a sweet deal because he gets 3 points for that.
What?
Because there were 3 overtimes, so that's
no
3-1-0.
When did they multiply?
I don't know. We're making it up.
We're making
as we go
it up.
along.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, we're going to move on to our second game of Group B, and that means a change of name for a certain team who are back under the banner of mousesports.
Oh, it feels good to be back in mousesports, and yeah, especially with a new team. We have good players now, without any trouble like in the previous time. It's gonna be good. We are tagged now as mousesports. It's really kinda pressure to be in this team.
I just kept playing and I kept performing pretty good, I guess, and well, probably noticed me, and yeah, the ball started rolling. We formed a good team finally.
We have seen Chris J really playing awesome matches before online, and for us I think the most important person.
Chris J, he's really, really strong, especially in the last matches. He was a key factor for us, and yeah, it's necessary that he hits these shots on land now as well.
I think my strength is the fact that I can open up the rounds quite easily with my AWP.
If he's playing good, we won't have any problems, that's for sure. And we rely on him, that's also for sure.
If we can keep the momentum, we're gonna do great here and we're gonna reach top 4 for sure. But it's not gonna be easy, especially starting against NIP. They won't give us an easy time, so yeah, we're gonna do our best.
Never a dull moment when it's a German team involved and we're on German soil here in Cologne. There's always a little bit of home
Biased.
support. Little bit, tiny bit.
I don't know if you could hear them. They're fairly quiet.
Yeah.
Subtle.
Little bit of home support for mousesports, of course. Party Daddlers before, and they got in at the very last moment, really, because it looked almost like they weren't going to make that top 16, and it would have been almost cruel of them not to make that 16, but they did.
Yep.
How excited are you to see him here? Because I get a feeling you're a bit of a fangirl.
I really
am.
Get that feeling. I love the way that they cause so many upsets. Literally, getting into the kind of playoff group stages was an upset in itself. Then knocking out Astana Dragons, another upset. And these guys, time and time again, prove themselves at these events. The German EPS Offline Finals, they turned up there, they did well, they proved it once again. Chris J, how many question marks has that man had? Since 1.6. Every time he turns up, he does pretty darn good. But then again...
Understatement time.
Yeah, but then again... Are they of the same caliber as the guys who are going to be sitting next to him soon?
We'll find out. Before we get there, you're getting ahead of yourself because we need to check in with the team sheet. Let's just run through the team lineup.
Team Chris J.
Team Chris J, formerly known as Party Daddlers, now known as mousesports. In between that, Crispy, Troubly, Tijan, Legija, I think we call him. I'm going to have to ask him actually because Nicola, I need to speak to him, but I'm pretty sure I'm okay with that. And then obviously Chris De Jong in there as well. It's an interesting lineup, isn't it, Anders?
It is an interesting lineup, and I think Team Chris J is not actually sort of overstating it, which is all right. We've seen teams in the past that do revolve around just a single player. A player who isn't sadly on any lineup right now is Guardian. We've been missing him for a while, but a really, really strong AWPer. And kind of, I guess, in the line of Chris J in that sense. And, some of his teams did really well, just having him carrying them.
Kenny S is another one.
KNES is another one, exactly.
True.
It does happen. You know, the metagame right now has shifted a little bit away from how Oppo does all the work, but this is LAN, and it's best of one, so really anything can happen. And the other guys, they're not bad.
They're not bad. Talking of not bad, the team they're up against aren't bad either. They are, of course, the one only Season 1 champions, the current reigning European champions, the current reigning world champions, and if they had a tournament for Counter-Strike Go on Mars, they'd probably be champions there. They are, of course, Ninjas in Pyjamas.
For myself, the relationship in the team, I think, is fairly good. I mean, I'm friends with everyone on the team, so we get along great. Obviously, that's a huge thing when you play for so long together. I mean, we've been playing with each other for over a year now. So I think friendship is, you know, one of those key things that you need to have in order to be like a successful team.
I don't remember which tournament we started doing some changes because we were pretty scared that other teams had starting to learn how we played. So we did some pretty big changes within our team. Just now, recently switched back to our old play style.
I mean, we've been trying to play a lot of advanced strategies, which doesn't fit our game style. We have a lot of good individual players, strong and smart players, and we shouldn't do like advanced tactics because they can just make it harder for us and it doesn't work. So by basics, I mean like use the aim and use the player.
I feel that the competition is more fierce now, for sure. There's a lot of teams out there that's, you know, that want to clinch that #1 spot. They want to prove to everyone out there that, you know, they're a team to look out for. So I completely agree with the fact that, you know, we have a lot of strong teams out there right now.
I'm convinced we're going to win this tournament because we went back to what worked for us in the past, and hopefully it's going to work the same now.
Got the feels from that video, didn't we? Mr. Freiberg here, just getting the feels for the... Nick, why did you have to fill in the video?
Well, you know, I do that sometimes. I even have a shirt at home that says Freiberg on the back, so I have considered, you know, showing up to various lands. Maybe just some locals want to test it out.
I reckon you get away with it.
If I could pretend.
Yeah, I reckon you get away with it. Okay, let's go through the team sheet. Not that we really need to, but, you know, let's do it for the fact that we should do it because we need to give them a proper introduction. Exist, Forest, Get Right, Freiberg, and Fiff, flaren. They're the 5 most consistent players in Counter-Strike Global Offensive since probably, April, May time last year. So it's a long time now.
Yeah.
It's getting on for 18 months. They are the most dominant team. I think there's been everything that we could possibly say already said, and everything needs to be written has probably already been written. We know exactly where they've been and where they've come from. The question now, though, is that they face something that's very different for them. They face something that is... They aren't as dominant as they were before, and they're starting to lose on LAN on a regular basis. So... You heard in the video, they want to win this tournament. This means a lot to them, and they feel like they've got back to where they should be. You've got some insider knowledge, I guess, on that. So why do they feel different about this particular tournament?
Well, I think the way that Very Games ended up really beating NIP was partly because Very Games plays this really tactical heavy side or style, which means they ended up in a way sort of forcing NIP to play a different game, and that's what I think flaren means, well, Forrest means when he says, well, now we're back to the roots. And the funny thing is actually that Very Games has made a sort of an opposite transition. You know, they're trying to play more like NIP, and you know, NIP needs maybe to start playing more like NIP to really get back into it.
It's a very good point.
But I'm wondering if it's going to make a real difference because now they're playing a team that's mousesports instead, and then some crazy Germans. So, you know, maybe NIP have been really preparing for Very Games, for Astana Dragons, or some of these other absolute top teams. Are they going to be ready for a team that has maybe a very different style? For the lariness that is Chris J. We'll get your predictions in just a moment. The map veto is about to start, so let's go over to our admin Carman, who is with the team captains right now to go through the removal of maps. It's Nuke that's gone first for mousesports. Don't want to be playing NIP on Nuke. It's a good move.
Understatement.
I wouldn't want to play them on Nuke if I had 10 players on my team.
Then again, I wouldn't want to play mousesports on Dust 2 either.
No, I didn't. I was just going to say exactly that. We'd definitely ban out Dust 2 if I was NIP.
Well, Cash and Train have gone. Dust 2's still sitting there right now. Mirage, Season, Inferno.
Yes, I mean, we know NIP is really strong on Mirage as well.
Yep.
It might come down, I hate to say it, but it might come down to Inferno again.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact... Oh, actually, Inferno's gone from NIP, so...
My prediction streak has been broken.
This is a Mirage game now.
This is brave.
This is Mirage now, surely.
I don't know.
I can't see NIP playing Season. That would
Nor
really
me.
be an ace up their sleeve if it happens.
It's Dust 2 now. It's got to be
This
Dust
is
2.
dangerous, though.
Has to be Dust 2.
Wow.
Yeah, it is
Wow.
Dust 2. So,
Wow.
there was a few groans in the audience, actually. I think they were kind of hoping for Season to come out. That's one of the more interesting map vetoes we've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm really surprised
Wow.
by that. I did not see that coming. I think mousesports managed to pick really well in this one. Definitely a favorite for them. I think.
Lauren, strongest map by far, really, for mousesports?
Hands down. Chris J gets to do what he does best.
Yeah.
Most maps
Yeah.
you can kind of... Bye, Pasha.
I'm not
He's
going
off.
to argue with him because his biceps are strong.
You don't mess with a man who's actually got it right on the back of his T-shirt. But that is their most dominant map. And you can't cut it out. But look, they're all waiting. Come on.
Come and join me over here, Taz. You might as well just walk through as well. Do you want to walk through?
Just join in, buddy.
It's fine, Taz. Go.
It's cool.
It's fine. All right.
Oh,
You've never looked so short in your life.
Yeah,
it's like me next to Jason. It's brilliant. Thanks for that.
Oh my goodness. Right, after that nonsense with Taz and the boys, thank you for that, by the way. They're always the jokers. We are ready for our second game in Group B, which means we go over to our commentary team. And I'm going to get this right this time. It was, of course, MBK last time. But this time we do go over to Mr. Joe Miller and the 8'1" Jason Kaplan.
Growing every single time that you get on here, Jason. And, well, there's a match to grow for here. Not sure where I was going with that one. NIP versus mousesports coming your way. And as we've just seen there in the map veto, Dust 2, which for me was a little bit of a surprise. They mentioned it there, a very strong, if not the strongest map for mousesports coming into this one. Dangerous for NIP. We should probably give a bit of backstory on the fact that their luggage has still not arrived here. I mentioned it earlier on with Get Right. They've managed to find some replacements and what have you, but I don't know, playing on not the mouse that's been worn in, I suppose, could be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen in so many different, games across the board, peripherals. You need your own keyboard, you need your own mouse, headset, mouse pad. You need everything that you're comfortable with to play at your maximum level. We have players like, for instance, the one that comes to mind for me is Todd from StarCraft 2, if you guys know who he is at all. He has to play with his own setup. Everything has to be perfect or he doesn't play it to his maximum. And right now, with what's on the line, you have to.
Yeah, first game, obviously losing here in the first game is not something you ever want, but it doesn't mean the end. Obviously, because we are playing the GSL style bracket where you have to win 2 games to go through to the playoffs. Lose 2 and you're out. It's that simple. But we are going to be getting into Dust 2 here in just a second, and we've got to talk about favorites for this one because NIP on paper are the favorites for this game, but we've seen how many times the paper's just been screwed up and set on fire, then thrown out the window tonight. I mean, that last game is obviously a prime example. Triple overtime coming out between Navi and Universal Soldiers. Whether this one is quite that intense when it comes to overtimes, I'm not sure, but I think we're in for a very good game.
Yeah, and I am so excited. This is the matchup I was looking forward to all day, and I don't even know which team's going to win this. I mean, on paper, NIP most likely going to win this right now. But if you look at Pyjamas now, mousesports, they beat Astana Dragons twice in group stage to get here. They beat Fnatic, High Grade, and Navi in cut number 4 to get the points to even qualify. And they're one of those teams where they just seem to be getting better and better every single day, every single week. And right now, I mean, this is a team you definitely can't underestimate at all.
No, and I totally agree with you with that one. The question that I have, though, how good are mousesports going to be on LAN here? How much are they going to turn up for this? They have got some incredibly experienced players in this lineup. I mean, Troubley is the man that you probably look to along with Crisby and think, well, these two guys have so much experience in the German scene itself. Then, we already talked about him, Chris J. He has played in so many different events, not really in teams, in my opinion, of the caliber that he's maybe in now with mousesports. He's had some teams that have done well kind of group stage-wise, but never really more than that. So that's going to be the big question mark for me here coming in. One thing that is for sure, though, our crowd here in the studio are all behind mousesports, so they're probably going to be getting a little bit leery coming into this one. But we are going to get into the knife round here, mousesports versus ninjas in pajamas, as they look to decide the sides.
And Joe, I'm thinking about how as this game develops a little bit more, as obviously we get into it, is the whole point of Starix last game and that ridiculous 3 overtime match. His op shots every single time, every single person he killed was so impactful every round. Can Chris J step up to that level and do that here? Because they could catch NIP off guard as they do take the knife round here, Joe, and you hear the crowd right behind us. They are definitely behind this team.
And that was just a knife round. It can only get better from this point of view from mousesports, as from the fans, I guess, from their side of things. But they get choice of sides from this, and it looks like they're actually going to be staying here on the CT side. So they want to get that out of the way.
Yeah, in cut number 4, they actually stayed CT side on Dust 2 every single time. They seem to be, more confident there. They feel more at home, and they proved it, to be honest, in quite a few different matches. And their terror side, it is strong. I'm not saying it isn't at all, but they just want to play that CT side. They want to get that out of the way and then move over to the T side. And right now, for me, the big story is NIP. They've been having some really, iffy kind of results lately. Can they get back to the throne? Can they claim it as being the top team in Europe again?
Well, it's interesting to hear the thoughts of the players on that one. Seems to be more of an identity crisis more than anything else. The NIP felt people were catching up with them, so they kind of changed their style and went for something a little bit different. They've recently said, you know what? Screw that. We're just going to play the way that we'd played before. And that's what they're going to be bringing into this event. So really interested to see how that works out for them. Obviously, form's anything to go by, and it's certainly going to be successful. You can see them there having a bit of a chat before the game. As I mentioned earlier, apparently the baggage system was down when they flew in from Stockholm. They had tickets written on paper, which is a new one for me.
That's sketchy.
Bags got lost and all that crazy stuff, and obviously with that, some peripherals. But I still stand by the fact that I have no idea how these players who've been playing for so many years still pack their peripherals in checked baggage. That is just, for me, a little bit mind-blowing. But they found replacements, so they should be all ready to go with this one. Get Right did make a point of saying he did, in fact, put his stuff in his hand luggage because he is the smarter of the bunch. That's what he told me.
Definitely one of the few people to do that. And we're going to see how it's going to impact him throughout this game. And I know NIP, they've been boot camping at their house for, I think, the last week. I don't think 2 weeks, but they've been definitely training hard, trying to get, as you said, their identity back here, try to figure out what seems to be going wrong, and really come into this match, hopefully in their eyes, looking for a 2-0. Just 2 wins into the next stage, into the semifinals, and then just take tonight, look over who they're going to be playing up against, or most likely playing up against tomorrow, and then just come into that as best they can.
Well, they've got a long way to go before they get to that point here. mousesports standing in their way. The home favourites. I mean, usually we'd have a team like in Faculty who are the home favourites, obviously based here in Cologne, just around the corner from here. But they've now got a Swedish lineup, so everyone moving over to mousesports, as you'd probably expect, always were a massive name in the German Counter-Strike scene. But will they be able to topple Ninjas in Pyjamas? I think if there's any stage for an upset, the games that we've seen today, the fact that this whole travel annoyance has hit NIP, the fact that they've been working to readjust their style once again. If there's any stage for an upset, I think this might just be it.
Yeah, and one thing I like about the whole mousesports lineup is, as we saw in cut number 4, it's not just one person that always stands up and is a standout player. Like, obviously, Chris J, that name you'll recognize anywhere. You expect his off shots to be on par, but any single member can do that.
So here we go then, mousesports versus Ninjas in Pyjamas on Dust 2, our second game of Group B. And the winner will be going through to play Navi, who, well, they played a long game earlier on to get through into that winner's game. But here we go then in the pistols. Let's see how this one is all going to be kicking off. Up until now, NIP not really showing their hand whatsoever. We can see that they are sat right back. And a big shout out once again. You see at the bottom of your screen there, Steele doing the observing here, doing a fantastic job to get everything in there. Credit to him. Make sure you give him a good old follow on Twitter and what have you. Up until now, though, still no action here in this first round of the game. There we finally see the first shots being fired as Freiburg spots one down in the middle. Smoke's going to get popped here, so NIP going to be moving slowly but surely up the map here. Get Right actually over by that B side of things, but it looks like NIP may be going for the push onto A as Freiburg gets himself one. Trouble, he does get back, but he's going to be taken down quickly there as Forrest follows through with the grenade. There's like from the distance though, Forrest being dropped out, and we're now down to a 3 versus 3 long range here from Fiff. Flaren. Can he get the shots off that he needs? Actually not really connected as much as he would have hoped for there. I think has to back away and jump off behind that corner. Meanwhile, the rest of the team coming in here on towards short. Get Right going to take down Crisby, and it's now a 2 versus 2. Bomb is down on Catwalk right now. That'll be picked up here quickly as Legia does go down, and it is now all on the man who we've been talking about most coming into this game, Chris J, coming in from short. He's been spotted now. Bomb is planted. There's a grenade not really doing much damage to Chris J. He's still very healthy from this one, but he's got 2 men to find. There's the dink and the finisher from Fiff flaren. NIP take pistol.
And NIP, they were being so passive in the beginning right there. Get right, he was sitting outside B tunnels for a majority of the round, then went in for the obvious flank that he's really known for. But mousesports still right there, they kind of show that they're no pushover. They were matching up with NIP quite well. Fortunately for them, didn't win the round, but we'll be coming into this one on the eco, except Chris J running that scout. And we've seen him time and time again how deadly he can truly be, as you see it right there. Gets the kill on the Freiburg, and that gives him a nice early advantage in this round. But Forrest, he responds back with the kill onto him. And now, maybe Legija wants to have an attempt at this. Maybe try to hit a shot or two here, but right now, NIP still sitting towards middle. Forrest, nice shot yet again, gets that kill onto him. That is 2 for him so far. And I have to say, if mousesports picks up one more, maybe a second kill, and get 3 over on the round, then it's definitely a strong eco out of them. Trebly not really able to do too much right there, but Crisby picks up a kill on Exist. Forrest down to 30 HP. And Get right with that AK, gonna be looking to make some big plays here. Bomb will be going down as Crisby's harassing them so well right there with those jump shots, but Get right gets the kill on Trebly. Crisby's gonna be in trouble from that catwalk, and is looking to go head to head, but right now he gets the kill onto him, and it's a 2-on-2 situation. Fiff flaren and Get right with the guns in hand. As Fiff flaren gets the kill to Crisby, it's all in the hands of Tiz, and he goes down. But either way, Joe, that was a phenomenal eco round for mousesports.
Yeah, taking down 3 honestly was close. I mean, it only needed probably one more decent shot onto both men still alive, and that would have been turned around. But Ninjas in Pyjamas do pick up that one nonetheless, and we can see that Fiff flaren going to be adding that scout into the AWP from this one. So double firepower almost here at the start for NIP, but look at this, a big stack up for mousesports as they head off towards this B bomb site. Fiff flaren actually just has thrown away the scout at the back, so that can't be picked up by Mouse. Get right. Just having a look here over towards B, not spotting anyone. Actually, the bomb is coming around here onto that B site as well. mousesports looking to catch them out. There's the first spot from Get right. He will get 2 before being dropped. Fiff flaren is there to give him the backup that he needs and stop that AK from being picked up. This will be a hat trick from Fiff flaren there at the end, and that will be round number 3 for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And mousesports, they called it right, got that stack on a B, but unfortunately just couldn't hold on to it, only picking up that 1 kill. And unfortunately, because that was in the tunnels, they couldn't get that gun and really make it worthwhile. But right now, mousesports 4th round in, going to be buying up here, and this is the crucial moment for them. Can they take a round back here? Can they maintain these gun rounds? As we see NIP rushing long A very quickly. I see Tizian drop to 58 HP, and no one on NIP taking damage just yet, but there is a 3-man stack over towards long A's Freiburg. Going to get the kill on Tizian. But will they commit to pushing this as he's spraying through that smoke? Gets a second kill to Trebly, and Get right picks up Crisby over in middle, I believe. And we do see Chris J get a kill onto Freiburg, but Fiff flaren cleans that one up. And Legija, 1 versus 4. Looks like he's attempting to maybe try to save this gun, but with a minute left against NIP, it's very unlikely to do. That bomb will be making its way up along A here. It will be planted momentarily.
He'll try and save that.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, it's going to be really hard to do, though, against NIP. And you see Get right, 14 HP, Exists 43, Fiff flaren 53. It's possible for him to pick up some exit frags, but Fiff flaren closes that one out. And right now, NIP looking very solid.
Looking good at this point. You see there, Chris J wiping the sweat off his face. It's kind of warm in here, I have to admit.
I might be sweating a little bit.
We'll see how they do from this one. 4-0. Perfect start from NIP. There's Forrest through the doors. Actually, not connecting onto anyone with that. But he watches and waits for the next man to make the jump. That's not going to happen for him. And NIP actually moving pretty quickly down towards those mid-double doors. Smokes will cover them as the nades go across. Actually, a push up here in towards middle from Chris J will get him killed. And the rest of NIP already thundering on towards Catwalk and that A bomb site where 2 men are sitting in wait here for mousesports. Trebly going to take down Exist. That's a decent start for them. A 4v4 now as Legia is going to go down Fiff flaren and Get right. And then finally Freiburg will make a meal of that one. 5-0. All good so far from NIP. Mouse going to be back on the bye this time though.
And right now, taking a look at the scoreboard, we have Get right 9-1 currently. Fiff flaren 9-0 himself. Then you have Freiburg at 4-0-3. So everyone at NIP really trying to step up here. This is the only one on his team to not pick up a frag, but I have a feeling that will change very shortly. And NIP going for a very quick rush onto B here, trying to get the position. Is forced looking for that op shot. But she doesn't hit it. As Chris J misses his first shot with that op, I believe he had. And Freiburg able to pick up that kill. So a major threat now down for mousesports. Freiburg looking to push up. Wow, you see Tizian get knocked down so low from those grenades, and he gets destroyed by Freiburg. But Trelly, he can pull one back. He's looking for a second as he does get on a forest. Great shots out of him. And now we're looking at a 3-on-3 situation. But NIP, they have 3 members with 100 health apiece. They've got the AKs. And they have the bomb working its way up catwalk here. And Fiff flaren looks like on the minimap will be sitting middle, looking for anyone rotating through. Exist. If only he just knew where Troubley was. He's sitting on that 19 HP. They're going to finally move up and try to get this bomb down. Okay, right. Trying to watch anyone from long or CT spawn coming up here. They're being very, very cautious. They do have a lot of time on the board, so it's not like they're in a hurry. But here comes the bomb, and look at the 3 members of mousesports. They're actually over towards B, not in the right side, and I'm wondering, is that because they want to try to save? But Fiff flaren, he's waiting in the middle. He picks up 1 kill to Troubley, looking for a second here. And right now, NIP, they know where the remaining members of mousesports are, as Fiff flaren gets another one onto Crispy here, and he's looking for that third onto Legija. As Legija picks up the kill to get right, but Exist closes it out, gets the kill into him, and now Fiff flaren is 11-0 in this game so far.
Yeah, certainly picked up his game, that's for sure. 11-0. He's got all the money in the world right now, as you can see, sat on 15k, even after buying from that one. So, 100% of the rounds going over to NIP here on T side. Here is Forest once again, and well, they crossed with no jump, which was where he was actually aiming for. The rest of NIP here we can see weighing over on towards that B side. Bomb is going to be going with them. There's the first kill coming out. Crisby gets the second one. Finally, one back here for Ninjas in Pyjamas as they break out onto the site. There is still one on the site itself there. That's Crisby tucked right in the back. He's now been finished off. The rest of NIP start to stream in slowly but surely. Bomb going to get planted here in just a moment by Freiburg once he knows that his entries are going to be covered. Forest is the man that's going to be coming over there, and Freiburg needs to be careful here. 10 HP is all that he has. A stray grenade could take him out. Both Troubley and Tizian have full health at this stage. Flashes going over to window. One will go over to those double doors. And mousesports slowly but surely work their way in. They're going to go one from each side this time around. There is Forest with the AWP. He's missed. Tizian's going to take him down. Defuse will come in, and mousesports are going to take their first round of the game.
And such a great hold out of Crisby right there, and Legija able to pick up a couple of kills and really stop NIP in their tracks. You saw that bomb took forever to get planted because they needed, or because NIP needed to cover their entrances and make sure it's safe to do that. But mousesports, I think we can both agree that was a much needed round out of them if they want to have hopes of taking NIP back here. And we've already seen one potential upset today in the game just prior, as we saw 3 overtimes. It could always happen again. Force does see 2 crosses there, but doesn't take the shot. Maybe expecting someone to opt back here, but Chris J does have the AWP, and he is sitting over at long A. And in the qualifiers, he did this many times where he would actually roam around the map and try to use that op effectively, and so the other team wouldn't really know where he was and shut him down. But with 3 members of NIP in middle, 1 in lower B, it looks like they definitely want to work towards this catwalk side. Freiburg going to be leading the charge here. Nade going to come out. Not going to connect with anyone, though. NIP just slowly trying to work towards the site. You do see on your map 2 members still at this B side. As Troubley trying to watch from catwalk right now. And you see Chris J trying to watch the cross like we saw Pasha a little bit earlier on. As Troubley gets a kill on a Freiburg right there as he tried to drop down into CT spawn. Chris J, here's the big play out of him. Is he going to be able to pull off any kills? He gets one on Exist. He's going to be looking for a second here as he does get it on the Forest. And Troubley picking up a kill on a get right over towards middle. Last man standing, Chris J with the hat trick. Coming up big for his team. Fantastic play to mousesports right there.
And that's what they need. They need to get Chris J feeling comfortable here. There you can see the smile starting to appear on his face. And that's when most of these real superstar players are feeling good, you know, when they're in that happy mood, when they're really doing well. And we can see their 181 AWP kills here, as he also gets one through those double doors. Tizian will take out Freiburg. Exist was already following in there from that one. Troubley will take him out, but looks like the rest of NIP really forcing their way through here. But that AWP of Chris J is still watching, and that will be his second kill of the round. Can he get any more? Flash will blind him out for now. Bomb actually coming up here. If he peeks now, he'll actually get the man. He's going to have help from Crisby, but it's Chris J that finishes that one off. And there's a little dance from Trouble as well.
And 2 hat-tricks in a row, and you just talked about this. When Chris J is feeling comfortable, feeling confident, he plays like a beast. And with these last 2 rounds, he has really stepped up, and mousesports now closing this round gap that NIP currently has over them. And Chris J, fortunately, not going to look. Actually, he finally does get a shot over there in the middle, but just misses by a little bit here.
I think it was too easy for him, that one.
He's like, that's too easy. I'll wait for a harder shot. But Troubly, Catwalk does get taken down by Exist over in lower B. And let's see if NIP can make a play off the back of that. We do have 1 person in long A over for mousesports. And let's see, NIP doesn't know that just yet. Crisby gonna be working from CT spawn. Let's see if he can pick up any kills. Actually gonna rotate over to the side here. He's looking for that first kill as NIP starting to push out 3 members, pushing in towards this A side. Does get the first kill to Force, looking for a second, gets it onto Freiburg, looking for a third here. Can he pick it up? Switches to a nade, and that is going to do a lot of damage, and it picks up Exist. Crisby, hat-trick already in this round, and look on your minimap. Look where the remaining members of NIP currently are. 1 working towards Cat as Crisby gets hit with that grenade, and Get Right working from middle. He actually does have the AWP in hand, so I'm trying to make sure that goes into the next round. But right now, Bomb is down in this A site. And you can see with those awesome lasers where they are aiming. Fiff flaren gonna be pushing up here. Get Right, gonna give him the flash to make his way in. And Crisby, can you get a 4th here? Playing very safe, doesn't want to get caught just yet. Wants to stay alive because we're on that 2-on-2 situation, but Fiff flaren gets the kill onto him. As Tizian now working towards CT spawn, gets the kill on a Get Right, and now he's in a 1v1 situation against Fiff flaren. Bomb not going down just yet. With that flash of the match, it would get planted very soon as he throws a second here, but Tizian, he's not backing down. He wants to get this kill. With 8 seconds remaining, he very well could do it as long as he just bides his time. Fiff flaren gonna get the bomb done here, but can he hold it? Can he get the kill? And can he lock down the 7th round for NIP as he does take a couple of shots at him? Tizian getting knocked down at 39 HP, and he gets taken down. Fiff flaren does save that round, but wow, mousesports, they are playing on a whole nother level.
Well, Fiff flaren, while we're talking about whole new levels, 16 for 3 right now. Really, really coming up big for Ninjas in Pyjamas today. Let's see, they have this 7-3 lead at the half. Don't forget it was mousesports' choice to go for CT side first of all. So they're looking to get as many rounds as they can here before moving over to the statistically stronger side here on Dust 2. Why do they get that? Still remains to be seen. Chris J here got his position on middle. Where's the peak going to come from? Actually spotted the Tracer coming through there, but he's unable to hit the shot, and he's going to readjust his position once again. NIP still moving pretty slowly on this one. They've got going to have at least 5 men moving into middle as Fiff flaren will just join the rest of them. It's Freiburg that will peek out first here onto short. Chris J flashed up and taken down for the first kill of the round here for the Swedes. But can they get any more? Trouble here, spraying up towards Cat. Freiburg gets the better of him. Exist will join in as well from middle, and they've now completely isolated this A bomb site, and the man that is on Catwalk there as Forest will pick off another. There is Freiburg from the A site onto Tizian on long, and Ninjas in Pyjamas making that one look just a little bit too easy.
And as you saw, it didn't even take all 5 members. They just sent 2 towards Catwalk, 3 towards B side, and once they got those kills, they obviously had both sides wide open right now, and Ninjas Pyjamas starting to run away with this 8-3 scoreline. Sports looking for a kill, gets it on the geezer right there. Headshot through the door, fantastic shot of him. But mousesports, they are on the eco here, so I'm not expecting too much right now. Oh, Fiff flaren actually getting dinged right there, down to 35 HP. Maybe if they can connect and get a kill off of that, you might be able to turn something around, but Freiburg gets a kill over into middle. And Chris J, Get Right, looking towards B, gets a kill on Crisby. And it looks like Ninjas Pyjamas are just going to clean this round up, but they're hoping, to keep everyone alive. They don't want to, sacrifice their economy at all. They don't want to give mousesports any extra money that they can deny from them, as just gets that kill on Tizian. Trebly, last man standing over towards middle. But Get Right, he's in position. He's waiting for him to cross. And with that P250 in hand, looks like he will push up middle here. As you can see by Get Right's aim, he's waiting for it. And Trebly gonna start pushing out here. Gets taken down by Get Right. And NIP now, in this first half, up 9-3.
Yep, 9-3 as we hit round number 13. Look at the scores here once again. 16 for 3, Fiff still at that, 11 for 6 for Get Right, 12 for 8 for Freiburg. Existing Forest been a little bit quieter in this one, but when Fiff are stepping up to the plate, they're certainly not missing those extra scores in there. mousesports, as we can see on board with Chris J, he'll be this time around going over towards that B bomb site, which funnily enough, nobody is actually there this time for NIP. Only Get Right, who typically does go. The variant was down there as Freiburg going to get 1 and a second, playing that point man position brilliantly here so far this game. Chris J has now started to move his way through those B tunnels. He might get the shot, not onto his teammate. Good job he didn't click for that one. The rest of the NIP team are actually moving in. There is the kill onto Get Right. And they're still trying to move in for the retake here. There's another third one coming down. Can they get any more? Bomb planted. Chris J moving in from the CT spawn. More flashes and nades going to be coming over the top. As Chris J makes a step forward. They're still holding nicely here on that catwalk. There is the kill for Fiff flaren onto Chris J, but Legia manages to get himself the 4th. Can he ace this one up? No, he can't. Fiff flaren takes him. And again, Fiff flaren showing nerves of steel in this game. Not for the first time. And NIP hit double figures at 10-3.
Wow, like Yeezy right there, that was ridiculous play out of him, getting those 4 kills, keeping his composure throughout all that as well. Not really getting too scared or backing down. And right now, NIP, like I said before, they're starting to run away with this game as Forrest gonna get another kill in the middle. This time on to Chris, because Chris J responds with the scout kill onto him. So 1-for-1 trade overall, but this is an eco round for mousesports, so it's gonna be very hard for this one, for them to take this one. But that is a gun down into spawn if they can get there. B site now open. NIP going to be getting the bomb down here shortly. As we do see mousesports starting to rotate over. Get Right waiting outside B doors. Going to get the first kill on Chris J. Going to be looking for a second, but plays it smart, backs away. Exist gets a kill on Tizian, and they're just going to clean this one up. So now, NIP 11-3 in this first half. Looking at the last round right now. Joe, I don't know, mousesports, they have to pretty much pick this one up if they want to have hopes.
Well, we say that they're moving over onto that terrorist side after this, and even a 12-3 half is certainly not a scoreline that you can't come back from. But I'd agree with you. It looks a little bit dangerous for them if that doesn't happen for them this time around. We see there the dink coming down where that came from the auto sniper as well. Fiff flaren going to pick himself up 1. And this is something, you know, with the final round of the first half you can do. You can buy 2 or 3 AWPs, the auto sniper even, and just throw them away and take the AK with you out of the spawn. And that's what NIP really utilizing here, the fact that they've got money on their side, giving them a couple of different options moving forward in the round. There's Freiburg getting the better of Troubley when probably shouldn't have. It was Troubley that got the jump on him. There's a great shot from Crispy though. Can they hold on to short? No, Exist is there, but Tizian has pushed around the backside already, and we're down to a 3-on-2 scenario. There's a flash from Get Right, and, well, the flash didn't really land onto Tizian, but he got the kill nonetheless. Here comes the final man of mousesports, going to be finished off, though, by Forrest, and it will be a 12-3 halftime score for the Swedes. A strong lead from the terrorist side.
And Joe Fiff flaren, I don't know what peripherals he's using right now, but I think they might want to take it home with him because he finished off that half 19-4. Ridiculous scoreline out of him, and you pointed out, you know, Forrest and Exist don't have the best scores, been relatively quiet, but when you have a man like Fiff flaren dropping numbers like that, you don't really need to be loud at all. And we are going to see mousesports finally move over onto the T side here, and like we said before, they did choose a CT side first, and now going to be going up to the favored side, but against NIP here. Get Right likes to play that floater role, and this pistol round is definitely going to be key if they want to be able to pull this one out.
Yeah, that's even maybe an understatement. NIP, if they win this pistol round, you'd almost give them the win, you know? mousesports, though, not a team to give up, and I always wonder about this, you know, the choice of the weaker side first, that you want to get those rounds on the board and then move on to the stronger side, but if you're a team that gets a little bit phased by going down, could be bad news. Right now, though, mousesports not showing any sign of that one. They've picked up 2 kills already, moving on to that B side. NIP going to have to come back in there with 3 men and try and get that retake on the bomb site. Mouse still holding very, very firm from this one. No grenades or flashes left here for NIP, so it's going to be hard for them to get back into this site. Get Right is down to 8. We've just seen Fiff flaren being dropped by Troubley. And really, it's Exist who's going to have to come up big for the Swedes if they're to win this round. Troubley will take down Get Right, and Exist is going to be that final man. Coming in window, takes a hit from behind, will manage to pick up Troubley, but Tizian comes through the window, and that will be the pistol round for mousesports. They hold on to the dream of taking down NIP, but it's a long way back.
And we just might start to see it, though. I mean, we just saw Universal Soldiers versus Na'Vi and how far Universal Soldiers came back in that one. mousesports always have the opportunity to do it here, but can they grab this right in front of them and take it? But right now, with these guns bought up, 3 AKs, a Gilla, and a P90 against... Actually, we do see head armor on Exist with that P250. And I see Force and Freiberg with a Deagle and armor apiece. And right now, let's go ahead and let's take a listen on NIP's comms right now and just see what's really going through their mind.
Kör då.
Ingen T-spawn.
Vi har då. Är du stappa?
Är det två? De har smugit ut mitt.
Det var kul.
En av mitt. De har smugit ut i alla fall.
En utanför mitt.
Akta.
Två utanför mitt port.
Är det på mitten?
Två mitt port.
Smygar i alla fall. Smygar.
De har sett.
And as you can hear from that, they're not too worried. They're still pretty calm. They realize we have a lot of rounds on them, a lot of rounds to go here. We're not really worried about losing this one just yet. But that was a fantastic shot by Forrest right there onto Chris J to pick that one up. And it looks like mousesports will close that one out. So now going 5-12 here, pick up the first 2 rounds in the second half, Joe. Can they do it? That's the question on everyone's mind.
Well, it's a big question. It's a big ask of mousesports at this stage. And we heard there how Ninjas in Pyjamas were so very, very quiet. And just for a bit of contrast, I'd actually like to listen to mousesports on this round, because this is another eco round here. So let's have a little listen to mousesports and see what team communication is like over that side.
Flashöffnung. Ich flashe Sandkasten vor sich. Hinter euch. Sehen Sie hier nicht.
Einfach durchgehen, ja?
Lass auf Aiming gehen, ja.
Vielleicht nur einmal rüber, mehr nicht. Achtung, Achtung, Achtung.
CT 3 Leute CT. Und nochmal.
Ich hab doch schießen.
CT 2 noch CT.
Aus CT.
Vierer in CT, letzter CT. Da liegt noch ein lang.
Yeah, I mean, they're on the terrorist side, so they're going to be a little bit more chatty, I think, as to what's going on. But you can hear the tempo, the excitement there is certainly there for mousesports. And why not? They were almost looking down and out from this one. They've done the job that they needed to do here, which is pick up the first 3 rounds with that pistol. Now comes the real test, though, with Ninjas in Pyjamas on the bye.
Yeah, very true. And we do see Fiff and with that op looking over towards Long A here. And one thing that really stood out for me in mousesports, comms is that they were really focused. I mean, they were chatty, but they were really focused on the goal they wanted to achieve. And times at a tough, they could be able to pick that one up. But Fiff, there is someone across the doorway from him. He does see him, but he doesn't get the shot onto him right there. Going to be committing for another shot, it looks like. And you're seeing mousesports just on the minimap. Look at the way they're spread out across the map. Just really trying to focus on covering middle. Not really too worried about BU just yet. But Tizian going to be working over to Catwalk here, but he is smoked out currently. Grenade doing some really nice damage. Trophy down to 57. Chris J down to 58. We actually do see Forrest pick up a kill to Troubley here, but Lagisha does respawn, does get that one back for him. Now we developed into a 4-1-4. Exist down to 20 HP, but Exist gets the kill to Lagisha right there as Crispy gets the shot back onto him. And now just like that, we're on a 3-on-3, but Fiff Flaren gets a nice shot on Tizian right there, does close that one out. And Chris J, the last man standing in a 1-on-3 situation. We've seen him pull out hat tricks just a little bit earlier on. This might be a little bit too much to ask, as he does finally make his way over towards Long A here. And as you can see, Fiff Flaren, he's going to be waiting for this peak. He's going to be ready for Chris J. He's looking to take a round back for him. And I just know that peak is going to come out any second here, and when it does, Chris J is
going to go past.
Oh, actually made his way up there to Cars, but gets a kill nonetheless. But Fiff Flaren does close that round out, and they finally take their first round of the second half for themselves.
Yeah, very solid there from NIP. Just not quite the execution that mousesports were looking for. And it was one interesting thing that we heard from NIP, that they said that they tried to go more tactical on themselves to kind of evolve their playstyle, but they realized that We're a team full of superstars. Speaking of which, Fiffler and they're just picking off Chris J right at the start of the round. And if you go 1v1 against NIP, you're probably going to end up losing out on the duel. More than, let's call it 3/4 of the time, 75% of the time. They're not good odds. You have to overpower them as a team here. I think tactically is the, with great tactics is how you're going to beat ninjas in pajamas. Ooh. We see there again, Fiffler up close on catwalk, not having a problem. Trouble actually will go head to head with Exist. Fiffler just misses that kill. Still having a look there. He still wants that shot as Forrest is going to be backing him from the bottom here by that CT spawn ramp. But Fiffler, honestly, the way he's playing can probably lock down that catwalk all on his own. There is Crisby, though, taking down Forrest. And that may just open up the map here somewhat for mousesports. It's still 3 versus 3. And they start to move over to that B site. The site which is only defended by 1 man at this stage, but that 1 man is Freiburg. He will actually go down finally. But they've lost Trouble E as well. It's now Legio who's gonna have to get this bomb down and defend it with just 10 HP. That grenade comes around. That will knock a couple more health off. He actually goes for the peak, but Fiffler was watching the doors. And that will be the defuse coming around for NIP. And as I said, 3 kills there for Fiffler in the mix of it. Defusing 14 rounds to 6.
And he's sitting at 25-7 scoreline right now, Joe, and that is just ridiculous to have. And one thing I really like about NIP is that their stats over time, like, they're really consistent. If you look at Dust 2 in particular, if they get the first kill, 82.7% of the time they win the round. But over for, mousesports, it's 78.38. So it kind of shows that both these teams, when they get that first kill, they can lock it down, they can close it out, and pick up 1 more round for themselves on the board here. But right now, mousesports, as Fiffler gets a shot on a Crisby. Trouble does respond, though, with a kill on a get right. As we see, Trouble pick up a second over towards long A. He's looking to track down Fiffler and shut down that streak that he's currently on. This bomb is over there, but Chris J coming in from behind on Cowett, missed that first shot, looking for a second, does get that on a Fiffler, takes him down, and that opens up this A bomb site. We do see, though, Freiburg working his way up catwalk, looking for a couple of kills here, gets one on a Trouble right now, and they're trying to keep this bomb from getting planted. It currently is down as Force, comes in from the back, but Tizian does shut him down. Freiburg all in the hands of him, but Tizian gets the kill. Great job by mousesports to really turn things around and pick up a round for themselves.
And we saw there what those 2v1 scenarios can do. Gang up on NIP, put them in a man deficit, so to speak, and you can overpower them. That's exactly what they've done there on that A-bomb site. Ninjas in Pajamas still sat on 14. Let's see if Chris J can hit anything through the doors. Smoke, I'm gonna pretty much say no to that one. He fires off a couple of shots anyway. This, by the way, is an eco round for Ninjas in Pajamas, so a round that mousesports are going to be counting on come those final few rounds if they manage to get there. But this is certainly one that they cannot afford to lose. 2 men right now pushed up inside of B tunnels, one of which was Freiburg, who took himself 1, but the second man was Trouble. He gets himself 2, and we're sat at a 4 versus 3 in favor of the Germans. There is another one. Chris J picks off Get Right, Fiffler and Exist, the final 2 men left alive. No risks here. Use those flashes to cordon off that middle area, and they head now over towards B, which is currently empty. They've got 2 men in there already, mousesports, so they know that they should be safe, at least until that retake starts to come around. Speaking of which, Fiffler picking up the AK there inside of B tunnels. He's going to be warded off here by Crisby, but it looks like they may just try and save that weapon that they've picked up. Fiffler has already backed away. Exist is going to be camping in there, waiting for a possible exit kill, and the prospect of an AK that would come with that one, but he ends up peeking out. Crisby will make short work of that, and it leaves just Fiffler with that stolen AK-47 to try and last the round out. We can see already that mousesports doing a little bit of hunting for him, being very, very careful to stick together for the most part and not end up getting caught out. But Fiffler is going to be able to survive this round. We'll take that AK through, but it's another round for mousesports. That's the important thing for them. 14-8 now.
What I really like that they did right there, Joe, was the whole buddy system. I mean, you saw Legisha go in through lower B, trying to work up, try to work up towards upper B, but Trouble was right behind him, and when he went down, with Trouble there, it prevented NIP from picking up that gun and prevented whoever got it from being super deadly. But right now, we do have 1 Famis in the hands of Exist. Is Chris J looking for a pick onto B here? He does get smoked out, so that's unfortunately for him not going to work right now. It seems like mousesports trying to change up the strategy a little bit, but are still holding content at making sure to control middle and making sure to contest long A every once in a while. You know, make sure that they don't get pushed out through there. See that they're still trying to control mid here as Flash is coming out. Chris J spamming some shots here, trying to make something happen. Gija, he's looking for something. All right, now NIP playing very passive. And forcing mousesports to make the move here. He's just looking for someone to peek here as he's going to make his way up Cat. With that smoke disappearing, he's looking to get the first kill of the round here. And they will commit for a 4, now 5-man push on a Cat. But can Chris J hit this shot? That's all he's looking for. That will open up the site. Still biding their time. 35 seconds remaining. Molotov going to be coming out here momentarily. It does go into that site. Does cut off platform just a little bit here. And here's the push. Chris J going to be leading, going to be charging in for his team as Get Right gets a kill on a Tizen. But Chris J responds with a kill on Exist. And flaren, however, picks him up. And Crisby playing the floater right now, trying to make something happen in middle. Picks up one, but the rest of his team has gone down over at this A site. Bomb is currently over there. 15 seconds remaining. He's got to save this gun. I mean, they're hurting on money currently. Like, they're sitting okay, but if they want to have hopes here to stop NIP from getting that last final round, they're going to need everything they possibly can get. So that clock ticking down, Crisby will save it, and NIP now on match point.
Yeah, and there we see the problem once again. Even numbers between mousesports and NIP trying to take those bomb sites. And, well, it's NIP on the defense. They're dug in onto this position. It's always going to be hard to take without, as I said earlier, just incredible individual play. Chris J once again going to tee up those double doors. One man already made the jump. But the second one snuck through with the smoke coming down as well, and no early pickings this time around again for Chris J's AWP. Flaren though, he's pushed up towards long A double doors, sees the man jump, going to bide his time for him to make the jump back from this one. Actually, he's going to have a teammate pushing in there with him as well. It's Get Right that's going to try and hold off from this pressure. Got himself a flash in hand currently. The flash is coming onto his position, and that's an easy kill for mousesports. No mistakes made there with that one. Flaren actually nading in there as well, hoping to do as much damage as he could, but Mouse had already backed away from that scenario. It's now a 5v4. Clock ticking pretty heavily. We're down to a minute or less remaining. Well, that execution will start to come around now for mousesports. Well, another pick would mean the world to them at this stage. They know that they got Get Right down, but he's another one of those free-roaming players that you don't quite know where the rest of the team's going to be when you take him down. And Mouse, as you can see, a little bit undecisive. They'd left the bomb all the way down by that T-spawn area. But now they really have to move. 30 seconds only on the clock. NIP, they've started to move themselves over towards that A site as Flaren will take down one. Forrest gets the second. Chris J will finally get one back here for Mouse, but Flaren up close and personal. Is he going to be able to get number two? The smoke comes down. He misses the shot. They charge in there, but Flaren picks up the kill on Chris J. It leaves Troubley all alone now on that A bomb site. The bomb is on long, and he's just going to get cornered in from this one. Manages to get Flaren though. The AWP is down, but the time is also gone, and that will be 16 rounds to a NIP picking up the victory here over Mouse.
And fantastic play. Honestly, I'd have to say out of both teams. We saw a lot of energy within mousesports. Fortunate for them, not really able to close that game out just yet. And NIP, I mean, even without the peripherals, they're looking unstoppable. We saw Flaren finish 30-9 in that game.
Very comfortable it was, that one. We heard when we had a little bit of a listening without knowing Swedish. I mean, you didn't really need to because they didn't really speak that much, to be honest. They were very, very calm. Okay, it was an eco, but they were up so many rounds that losing one or two gun rounds here and there might not have mattered the world to them, but that's also a bit of a slippery slope. Didn't happen this time around. Comfortable win for NIP. That, of course, now means that they are going to be going through into the next game, which will be against Navi.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess you could argue both ways, whether it's a harder opponent or not as hard in the end, but NIP is still one of those teams to never underestimate anyone. And Navi, as we saw earlier, you know, Universal Soldiers brought them to the brink of almost a loss. But right now, with these two teams going to be facing off, one of these teams will be qualified in the semifinals, and the other will have to play tomorrow for their chance.
Yeah, and that's the thing now. Obviously, the chance for mousesports is going to come a little bit later on in the day, where they'll be taking on the loser of our first game, Universal Soldiers. That is going to be another incredible game, in my opinion. We saw Universal Soldiers going so very close to taking down, I'd say, one of their biggest rivals when it comes to Counter-Strike in the past, albeit just a few members. Obviously, not quite the 5 that we used to see in Navi. But either way, fantastic win. We have to focus on that from NIP here. They've come in, had these few issues that we were talking about, the whole redesign, the rebranding really of their strategic ideas. But also, I don't know whether it's really that much of a factor after watching the game. The whole luggage is lost, peripherals are lost. We're not feeling in our comfort zone because they look really comfortable to me.
I mean, Anders was talking about it earlier, where very games they said they're playing or trying to play more like NIP style, and NIP need to play more like NIP style. And right there, they were playing their own game, and because of that, they come out, I mean, relatively easy with that win. But it still comes down to, can they pick up that much to win versus Navi? They've been kind of, shaky lately, but just with that game alone, they look pretty solid to me.
Well, any of those questions that we had can be answered for us now, as Red Eye is standing by with Fiff, flaren.
Yes, I am. Thank you very much, gents. Great commentary on that game with NIP's Robin Fiff, flaren. Let's talk about the attire first, okay? Because there's a thread already on HLTV, as if there wasn't going to be, that NIP have disbanded. So let's just put that one to bed right now.
Yeah, we didn't like the NIP management, so we decided to just go solo at this tournament.
Okay. Someone's going to cut that and put that on YouTube now, so let's clear it up properly.
Yeah, jokes aside, we lost our luggage heading over here to Cologne. I think that we're going to get it like within the hour or so. But yeah, that's why we're looking like this. Look like we haven't slept for 3 days either, and the same clothes as we wore yesterday. So, and we're using like, some of us are using. We got to borrow. I got to borrow Madi's gear from Fnatic, so I just wanted to say thanks to him as well for letting me have it.
And the game you've just played was pretty strong. I presume you're going to ask him if you can keep his stuff now and carry on playing with that, aren't you?
Yeah, at least today. I'm going to play the next game with Madi's gear as well, hopefully. So since it seems to be working, obviously, I'm killing something at least.
Let's talk about the game. First half, straightforward, very straightforward. 12-3 was a decent score on T side. Not perfectly safe, but pretty decent. But then mousesports, little bit of resistance, put up a bit of resistance. But did you feel that they were maybe not as strong as you thought they might be, or was it about right?
Coming into this tournament, we worked a lot on ourselves to try and improve. So I'm not sure if it was that they were not as good as we would have thought, or if it's just us playing good. I think I don't know. I'm hoping that it's the other way around. So I hope that it's us playing well, because that's always going to be better for the long term.
With the, I don't want to make too much of a fuss about it, because you guys have made no fuss about it whatsoever, by the way. I just wanted to point that out. But you haven't got your stuff here. You haven't got your comfortable clothing. You haven't got your tops. You haven't got your gear. And there is a bit of a... I mean, it's always disturbing, right? Fnatic did it last season as well. They had their luggage lost, I think. Same route maybe, I don't know, but it's difficult to play. But you guys have put all of that aside, and you personally, I know you've got a screaming headache right now, and it hasn't got any better all day, and yet you've gone out and performed brilliantly. So what hope have the rest of them got this weekend?
Well, first of all, obviously it's our own fault that we didn't, pack down our stuff into the carry-on. So we can't blame anyone but ourselves. So we're just coming into these few games now with the fact that it's our fault. That let's just play with what we have, and just to do the best of it. So that's our mindset.
I mean, I know you're very much a team player within the team, and you don't really take any of the glory when it's just you playing. It's always a team glory that you take, but you've got to look at that first half and think, hang on, that was pretty nice. 3 clutches in that one, and then little sweet ending to the game with that missed easy AWP shot, I have to say. I probably could have hit that one myself, but then the second one, unscoped, I'll just pop him in the head, no problem.
Yeah, I think I played pretty okay. Obviously, it's you can't do anything without your teammates, so I owe everything to them. So, but yeah, it feels good to at least play one good game. So.
You're too modest. Fiff, flaren there from NIP, thank you very much. We'll see him in the winners' game coming up, but first let's go and break down exactly how NIP managed to win against mousesports.
Yeah, we are back with the stats from a very modest interview with flaren, and well, we're just waiting for them to get up, and there we go. So 3.3 kill death ratio. You need to be a little bit more happy when you do that. Before this whole thing started, there was a lot of talk about NIP, and people were saying, well, in order for them to come back, they definitely need Freiburg to do better. He did. second on the scoreboard on an IP with 18 kills, not unimpressive. If you're flaren dropping 30 kills in this game is something we really haven't seen from him in a long time, and I think that's going to impress people massively. Obviously, with the AWP, the headshot percentage doesn't really need to be that high. They tried, Crispy with a stunning almost 70% headshot ratio. Definitely, part of the reason why mousesports came as close as they did, but it wasn't enough. And Chris J doing what he does, trying to make it work, probably the top fragger there on mousesports, making it close. I mean, 10 kills off of flaren, it still wasn't enough. 16-8 is going to be the score, and that's what we're looking at. We'll put it back on over to Paul for another interview right after this.
Thank you very much. Anders there with the breakdown of our last game. And NIP versus mousesports, appropriately, because there's got a man from each of the teams right now, but it's not one of the players, which is always good. That went all right, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
That's it. Good interview. Let's move on. No, I mean, seriously, they've come in and they've got no gear, and it's all a bit upsetting, and it's a bit of a nightmare, and they're all like, and flaren's head's exploding, and he's got no gear, and yet that was a really good win.
Yeah, it was. It's kind of hard to tell how much you really get affected by this. I think it's individually different, but I think we always decide to not talk about stuff like this, because if you keep talking about it, about the missing bags, the headaches, the different mouse or the bad keyboard, that's all you're going to think about. So we try to not focus on that and try to focus on our game instead.
Okay, so a bad movement always blames his tools.
Yeah.
Okay, good. mousesports, you've picked these guys up recently. I mean, officially it was yesterday, but I know that in the background it's been a process that you've gone through to talk through, and contracts and what have you. So it's taken a little while. It must have been really satisfying to get it done before they came to the Raycall finals. But it's a really tough game to start off, right? I mean, you weren't expecting, we can come in here and we can win the first game.
I mean, of course, when we participate in a tournament like that, you always want to win. But, we are playing against the best team in the world. So the guys, unfortunately, didn't manage to make enough CT wins to make it close enough, So 12-3, and then to come back on as terrorists is pretty hard. But I think there's potential to improve, and we will see in the next match in the lower bracket that we deserved our chance to, come far here in the tournament.
Okay. With the pickup that you've picked up one of the most exciting Counter-Strike players that we've got currently in Chris J, but other people are saying he's a one-man team. It's a one-man team, but it's more than that, right?
We have to be more than a one-man team, because one player cannot win, a tournament. So, the guys are young, and we're a pretty new team. So there's a lot to improve, to practice, and it's a first LAN experience as a team. So after this tournament, there's another tournament coming up. So you have to work hard if you want to be successful. That's the way to go.
Okay, it's great to have mousesports back in the scene alongside Ninjas in Pyjamas and all the other teams as well. SK are in there. I wonder if we might see one of those evil North American teams soon with the Counter-Strike team. We'll have to find out. For now, we're going to take a quick break, but we are going to highlights reel of this season's Raycall EMS 1 Cups. Check this out.
Seeking of the truth, but inside of me I know you hide. When you keep trying too hard, but you get too far, leaving me behind. And I can't find you up in the sky. I just need a minute more and I'll shut that door again. But when I sleep, but inside of me, I know you hide it. When you keep trying so hard, but you get too far, leaving me behind. And I can't find you up in the sky. I just need a minute more, and I'll shut that door again. But when I sleep, unconsciously, again I'll follow you, and I can't find you.
Professional-grade communication tool. The choice of professional teams. Perfect stream viewing experience. Chosen by online streamers. Easy-to-use voice messenger service. Chosen by over 12 million gamers.
Communication is always vital when competing in tournaments. Winning a match requires perfect coordination. You cannot win by yourself.
Raid Call. Communication for winners.